till I get my money right.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Quantum Ascent. I have ICP, Internet Computer Protocol, up on the screen, the 1 week price chart. And I just put out a video with CRV, ICP doing something similar, schematic a little bit differently. We're looking at Wyckoff accumulation schematic 2. And I know that there's a lot more going on up here. This is by no means a perfect schematic, but it's pretty damn close. So let's dive into it real quick. We have our first drop coming all the way down to the selling climax. Automatic rally. Again, this is the weekly, so it's looks a little bit different. Automatic rally right there. We came back down one more time into the secondary test of this level, and then popped off into one more high. Automatic rally, secondary test of this level, back into one more high. So that green line up there, right here, is equivalent to that guy up there. And then this black line, the automatic, is similar to the automatic rally point, all right? We then had a big drop down from up at that level all the way down to the bottom here, secondary test in phase B. So that right there, equivalent to that right there. You see we ran up, didn't quite get as high like in the schematic. Typically it gets all the way back up to the automatic rally level, but there was quite a big drop. But you can still see that structurally make our way up to a high, came back down, pushed up again, couldn't meet that high, and fell down into a last point of support. And that's currently where we're at right now, guys. Came back down. We're still north of that secondary test in phase B, and we're just doing this sideways waddling. So although this part isn't perfect, it is pretty damn close. So what we would be looking for here is a break from this last point of support up into sign of strength up here. All right. And that puts us up there, the automatic rally level at 60 bucks. And that last high there where the sign of strength typically gets built up there at 86. So that is just using Wyckoff. We can see that there's a lot of similarities there, right? And it gives us an idea that it is possible for us to get up near this target. So the other thing we want to do, we're talking about waves 3, 4, and 5, right? We had our wave 1 there a long time ago, back in March of 2024. This has been a long wave 2 drop down, got us pretty close to the lows, but not quite yet. Today what we're talking about are waves 3, 4, and 5 here for ICP, where those could stop out at and how that would look. And these waves 3, 4, and 5, guys, that can happen so quick. I've shown other examples on the channel. I mean, you're talking like this could happen in 4 to 6 weeks, right? To a point where we won't even notice it on the weekly time frame. We're gonna have to break it down to the daily or the 12-hour to see waves 3, 4, and 5. That's a very good possibility. So this is how we're looking with Elliott waves. That's what we're doing with Wyckoff. In a second here, we're going to jump into fibs and see if we can pinpoint a logical path here for ICP moving forward. But before we do that, guys, join the Quantum Circle. Entries, exit strategy, emotional and mental clarity. 2 daily macro videos. Link to that is in the bio. Guys, I mean, we knew last night that the Bitcoin bottom was coming in, that Ethereum lows were coming in. Like we've been 2 steps ahead of the game here on the macro. So check that out. I promise you guys, you're going to get a ton of value for it. And on entries and exits alone, you should easily be making back the money you're spending every month. But sometimes you got to spend money to make money, especially if you don't have a full grasp on what you're doing here. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been in the crypto space a long time. This is my 4th alt season. I've seen it all. So, all right. Now, back to this. Let's talk about where we're looking. So if I draw fibs just on wave 1 to 2, you can see that it gets us out there pretty damn close, a full extension, pretty damn close to that high that we've been discussing right up here, that green high, right? Does get us out above the automatic rally point. So looking at that alone, guys, my main target is going to be up here. Where are we at? For wave 5, we're going to be up here in this area, somewhere between 75 and 86 bucks. That is my primary here for ICP. And again, a few different, that's not what I wanted to do. A few different ways that we see that we're able to get up there. So it is a little bit of a range, 75, a nice round number that says 74.76. And again, it still does put us up between the automatic rally level and the typical area that we build a sign of strength. So I'm going to put that up there. I'll go ahead. I'm going to put 75 to 86 as the final, just because that is a a very logical range that it could top out at. All right, now we're looking at this thing. Let me get rid of this. You guys know where we're at. Now we zoom in a little bit more here. Figure out what we're going to be doing. Actually, let's leave that up here, sign of strength. What are we doing on wave 3? Typically, how this is going to look is we'll take out that last high, at minimum run back up to that high, but typically take out that last high up to the 1618 and then come back down to either back test this high or these ranges. I noticed that that top right there is coming in right at the 702. The other thing to pay attention to is in this tighter time, or in this tighter range, we had an ABC and it was perfect. So C wave has to at least be the length of the A wave. The A wave there, 72%. Our C wave going back to the top of the Trump pump, 73%. So a beautiful ABC is completed, but the reason I bring that up is this B wave high, there's a good chance that that back tests that. All right, typically in these wave 4s, you're seeing a 35 to 50% drop. It can be violent, it can happen fast. I look here at that B wave, that puts us right in that parameter at 49%. And just right around a nice round $16 number. Guys, the more you can find psychologically round numbers, I'm telling you, it happens way more than you think, because there's just regular people like you and me out there looking at whole numbers, and that's where they're taking profits, that's where they're setting targets. A lot of times they'll get wrong-footed on that, but it would make complete sense for our fourth wave to drop back in here, down around that B wave, 702, and an even $16. After that, we would be looking for that final run up. And again, this could all happen so fast, right? It could just be a week. It could be 5 days, 4 days of a big drawdown before it pops off again. Things are going to be moving violent once this alt season gets going. You guys will see what I'm talking about if it's your first one. In this situation, we have our first wave, 618%, massive. Our third wave would be pretty close, 632%, or a 7.3x. And in this situation of a drop down, this would put our fifth and final wave at about 440%, or 5.4x. So you have wave 3 being the longest in this situation. Wave 1 a little bit longer. Again, this was a long time. You know, this went from September of 2023 to March of 2024. That's 6 months of price action there just to get that 618%. So you should see this moving a lot more violently, a lot more quickly. And I do think there's a very good chance we may get back up to this level again between $75 and $86. So my friends, that's how we do it. You guys got Wyckoff accumulation in here. You got Elliott waves. You got fibs. Everything. Literally like 3 of the cleanest ways to pick out targets. So obviously, this just shows us what is mathematically possible. We're going to need the follow through here, but once things get going, you guys are going to start to see these alts popping off one by one, and things are going to get really fun. So hang in there. We're wrapping up. It's coming soon. Like I mentioned, join the Quantum Circle, real-time trades, access to my portfolio, 2 macro videos every day, a Discord channel, and I teach you how to do TA just like me with almost 10 years of experience. Link to that is in the bio. If not, super appreciative you guys are here. If you could just follow, like, repost. Want to get this info out to as many people as I can before it's too late. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. I got a few more rolling out today. I will talk to you then.